दोस्तों, मेरा नाम है नीलेश मिश्रा। कहानियाँ सुनाता हूँ। मैं तो आपको पिछले 10 साल से काल्पनिक कहानियाँ सुना रहा हूँ, लेकिन पिछले 3 दिन से मैं और आप बदलते भारत की कितनी सारी सच्ची कहानियाँ सुन रहे हैं। भारत के हृदय से निकल कर आई हैं ये कहानियाँ। भारत का आईना है ये कहानियाँ। Today, on day 4 of the Amazon Sambhav 2021, we are on the last leg of this 4-day journey. Today, we will talk about new initiatives, changing perspectives, and new sustainable solutions that are being scoped as we march towards an Atmanirbhar Bharat. We will also be announcing the winners of the Amazon Sambhav Startup Challenge and the Hackathon that were held on day 2 and day 3. लेकिन जैसा कि मैंने आपसे कल भी कहा था, आप अपने यूज़रनेम और पासवर्ड से इन सारे सेशंस को अगले 10 दिनों तक देख सकते हैं। आइए आज के दिन की शुरुआत करते हैं। कल जब क्रेड के फाउंडर कुणाल शाह ने अपने सेशन में कहा था कि महिलाओं का आर्थिक योगदान दूसरे देशों की तुलना में बहुत कम है, तो मुझे बड़ा अजीब भी लगा और सच बताऊं तो यकीन भी नहीं हुआ। लेकिन आंकड़े यही बताते हैं। दुनिया भर में महिलाओं की जिस प्रोडक्टिविटी और एफिशिएंसी के चर्चे चल रहे हैं, उन पर शायद हमने अभी फोकस करना शुरू किया है। A diverse workforce is imperative for a successful business. It brings together different strengths, variety of experiences, a huge knowledge base, and a plethora of problem-solving techniques. Building an inclusive organization uplifts the organization's culture and creates a positive impact on the overall business. Joining us today, we have Ms. Sairi Chahal, founder and CEO of Sheroes, to share some invaluable insight on how building inclusive organizations unlocks opportunities for India.
Hi everyone, my name is Sairi Chahal. I'm the founder and CEO of Sheroes. We are a women-only social platform, and I'm delighted to be here at Amazon Sambhav. It is a privilege and an honor to be here. The topic that I'm going to talk to you about today is about building diverse and inclusive organizations, unlocking opportunity for India. And it is something very, very close to my heart. But let me start by taking a moment with a little bit of a rewind to my own career. I've been a founder and an entrepreneur all my life. I've run small businesses, medium businesses. In 2006, I set up a company called Saita Consulting, whose mandate was to work with small and medium businesses. And when I was still in college, it's almost 20 years ago, that I built my first organization, Newslink Services. It was a startup being built in India before startups were common. But I can tell you something, having seen the journey of Indian economy, having seen what I have seen in terms of growth of small and medium businesses, and of course the overall growth of this country, I can tell you it's been a hell of a ride. And I think there is something amazing going on. When I built my first company in '99, we literally had to do everything by ourselves. So today, if you want to build a business, you would go online in like an hour. You would set up a landing page, you would buy some server space, you'll put your card in some SaaS tools, and you're in business. But it wasn't like this 20 years ago. Internet was still on dial-ups and modems and things that you perhaps have never seen in your life. And then, of course, we had to build something called server rooms. It was literally a room where you would park your server and leave your chappals outside. Of course, India has come a long way from then. The most amazing ride that we are seeing in this country is growth of internet. Internet reaches almost 700 million people today in a country of 1.5 billion people. And that is obviously making a lot of digitization possible. The other big growth we've seen in India is growth of payments. Obviously, we all hardly use any cash anymore. We all just swipe and UPI, and India has some of the best payment systems in the world. But most importantly, I think as a country, we're still just about scratching the surface. We are a country made up of small and medium businesses. We're a country where we are super diverse. Every few kilometers, this country changes. We find different people, we find different textures, we find different dialects. But what is common to this country is we're a country of huge demographic aspirations. And that's what is exciting about India in 2021. Let me also point out to something that's really, really close to my heart. Is the fact that we are a country of 1.5 billion people. We are the third largest or the second largest startup ecosystem in the world. We are one of the largest hub of technology companies in the world. We're also the hub of most number of small and medium businesses who generate a high number of employment opportunities for this country. But we're also the country with the lowest gender gaps. I don't know if you guys have seen a recent gender report that came out. India is 140 in a list of 156. We are a country with very, very poor gender numbers all across. So whether it's women in workforce numbers, it's numbers around women's safety, women's social status, and that's something I want to point out. So before I get there, let me share a little bit about the work we do. So I started this organization called Sheroes. We're a women-only social network. And what we really do at Sheroes is we're building women's internet. We are carving out a safe space for women to come build their online identity, find a network for themselves, and that network is peers, mentors, organizations, small and medium businesses. Find a lot of support around well-being. We run a helpline. We offer a lot of free advice around legal issues, health issues, parenting, career, and so on. And lastly, we run a few initiatives which help women become micro-entrepreneurs. So this is very, very close to me. We're a network of about 24 million women today. And I can totally tell you that this is the potential that India is sitting on. There are about 16 million women today who are micro-entrepreneurs, which means that 16 million women run a small enterprise. Maybe they employ another person or two person. That's a sub-economy of about 35 million to 40 million people. And that's the potential that can grow 10x if India did a few things right. And what are those few things right? I think the most important is that India needs to focus on micro businesses, small and medium businesses, a lot more. I think whether it means simple taxation for them, whether it means building better technology infrastructure, high-speed internet, better access to capital, India can do a lot more for women and for small and medium businesses. And my guess is this will add about $1 trillion to the economy in less than 3 to 4 years. Estimates by McKinsey say that if India unlocked the potential of its women entrepreneurs, another $1 trillion of GDP value will get added in the next couple of years. So this is a huge potential we're sitting on. But the most exciting part about all of this is, especially in a post-COVID world, we are sitting on a massive opportunity of demographic potential. We are a rare country where having people is an asset. We're also a rare digital first country. We're a country where landlines never made it, but everybody has mobile phones. We're also the country where the whole geo revolution happened. We're also the country where adoption of technology is pretty high. So I feel these are all unlock opportunities that are really happening. And of course, we know that growth of platforms is one way to create a humongous amount of value for a lot of people very, very quickly. At Sheroes, we see this. We're about 5-year-old company, and we already see that almost 1 million women have been impacted directly. Almost 2 million women are micro entrepreneurs on our network. They either run a small business, or they offer a service, or they run a beauty parlor, or they run something that they run online, and this number is only growing, and there's a lot of value being created at a platform level. And I believe the other interesting unlock that's waiting to happen is when these two sides of the fence come together, SMBs and women. I believe as a lot of new organizations take shape, as the economy finds its fifth gear, we cannot get there by leaving a diverse set of folks behind. I have always said we are only 50% there if women are not part of the India growth story. And I think it's not just a story for corporates anymore. I think we've all seen that diversity in companies adds a lot of leverage to them. It makes their Fortune 500 performance better. We've seen companies perform well when they have more women on their boards. So I think that statistically has been proven. But what has been underrepresented is participation of women both at a micro level and in organizations that are going from SMB to maybe more mainstream businesses, to new platforms being built, and of course small and medium businesses. And how do we get there? I think lot of inroads, especially in a post-COVID world. The greatest thing COVID gave us was that everybody can go remote. Work really is sitting on your phone and your computer now, and that has opened huge gateway for women to become part of mainstream workforce. Let me also take you a little bit into my own life. I'm a small town girl. I was born in a very small town in Haryana, and I grew up in another small town called Muzaffarnagar in UP, and my parents today live in a small town in Punjab. But the reason I'm telling you this is as follows. I think the story of growth of Indian SMBs and getting women into the mainstream economy are connected. And let me explain to you why. You know, where my parents live in Punjab, it's literally a small town, and if I just took my neighbors across the lane, you know, there are women who are so qualified and so talented, and they're all sitting at home. They could all be running a business, or they could be part of the economy in terms of workforce, but they're not. And let me also tell you what's been happening elsewhere in the economy there. You know, it used to be a manufacturing hub, and over a period of time, as things have gone, as technology has taken over, a lot of businesses either slowed down or shut down, and there are a lot of businesses that are kind of struggling. And here's what I feel, that on one side, we have really, really talented, smart people who are sitting at home. And on one side, we have organizations who are struggling. But that connect hasn't happened for two reasons: social stigma, and also safety of women. Getting out is not easy. Public transport doesn't come by easily. And in a post-COVID world, everybody moved their work online, you know, and I think this is a big opportunity for India, where small and medium businesses and women who need each other should talk to each other, and maybe they should talk to each other remotely, because it's the most efficient way of getting things done. I think the opportunities of employment with local businesses, with growing businesses, and with the influx of, you know, everybody going online, whether it's a small function of keeping your accounts, or delivering your customer products, or sending them a service. There's so much that is now on remote, and I think this is a real opportunity for India to adopt. It is time to take two very, very strong pillars of the economy, whether it's women or very small businesses, to walk together. And I think the opportunity for us is to build perhaps the world's largest economy, perhaps the world's largest economic superpower, but also a more inclusive nation. So we're a country that's sitting on a lot of economic value to be unlocked thanks to digitization, thanks to policy making, thanks to inclusive organizational design, thanks to a lot of work that has already been done in building the India stack, the India payment stack, and hopefully a lot of other things that are work in progress right now. I can very much vouch for you as a founder who started everything when India was barely a few 100,000 computers, and nobody did a startup, nobody built a company, and of course there were very, very few women out there doing this. I can tell you the world has changed. It's taken us 2 decades to come to the forefront of the world economy. We're also a country that's sitting on a mega innovation powerhouse. We are a country where ideas are brimming in literally every taluka, every village, every few hundred kilometers that you travel. And I think what we need to do is we need to create a lot more distribution of access to every one of these innovators, and innovators don't always come from a certain persona or a certain background, and I think that's the inclusivity that will unlock a lot of local solutions. If you have noticed, India has found this huge trust and faith in indigenous models, the India first business models, the India first solutions, the India first services. And I think we're just about beginning of that curve. We are going to see a lot more of that. We're going to see a lot more businesses that will go from small and medium businesses to very, very large businesses. But we will see a lot of folks who would otherwise not be a business owner become business owners. We will see a generation of women who are bound to become entrepreneurs in the next decade or so. As somebody who runs a platform for women, I can tell you entrepreneurship is really the way forward for Indian women, because it offers them access, it offers them freedom, it also offers them a way to express themselves, build their creativity, and use their resourcefulness. I don't think as a country we will ever be able to build a model where the number of women in workforce becomes 50% by offering corporate jobs, but I can 100% tell you that we'll get there by way of entrepreneurship, by women setting up more businesses, by women being part of more local solutions, and of course a lot more local businesses working directly not only with women but people of all diverse groups. Well, you may think everything that I'm saying is dreamy and impossible and cannot be done. As a small town girl, I can tell you the world can change. The world can change right in front of your eyes. And a lot of things that we thought are impossible are made possible right there when you're watching it. So believe in this India, believe in the power of SMBs, and of course, believe in the power of diversity, because it will carry us forward. I wish you a lot of luck, and I wish you a lot of hustle, and I hope you make use of all the resources available to us in this country today, and I hope you build a great business. And to everyone watching Amazon Sambhav, all the best to you.